Hi, I'm Lynn. Welcome back to Cooking with Lynn. I'm in my kitchen again doing some baking for the Cumberland Library. And it is June and it is strawberry season. So I'm going to make strawberry rhubarb crumble. Not to be confused with crisp or cobbler. Not entirely sure the exact difference, but I know that so I'm making a crumble, which is a streusel type topping. So if you added oats to that, that would be a crisp, I think. And a cobbler is more like a biscuity type top. So anyway, I'm doing a crumble with strawberries and this interesting fruit. I guess it's a fruit, rhubarb. I'm not a huge fan, but lots of people like it and it does taste good with strawberries. My husband loves it. So let me tell you what you need and we'll get started. My oven is preheating to 375. I've got a whatever size baking dish. 9x9 is good. I don't have a 9x9. This one is a little shorter and a little less wide and a little longer. Should work fine. Alright, so what do we need? We need strawberries, 2 cups of strawberries. I already got rid of the tops there, hulled them, I guess you could say. I don't know what you call that. Which, when I buy strawberries, I always cut them up. They seem to keep longer. If you're not going to cut them up and hull them, don't wash them till you're going to use them because they will get moldy. And the rhubarb is pretty hardy. I don't know. I washed it. Anyway, so I need brown sugar, regular sugar. There's my oven. I need flour, cinnamon, salt, cornstarch. That's really it. Probably a lot of things you already have in the house. And you can make this super easy. And obviously a crisp or a crumble or a cobbler can be done with any kind of fruit. So, but this one is going to be strawberry rhubarb. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut my rhubarb. It's kind of like weird celery. I don't know what family it belongs to, and I don't know who saw this growing and said, let me eat that. But anyway, not all food looks great in its original form. So I'm just going to cut it into 1/2-inch pieces. And I need 2 cups of this as well. I'm kind of just eyeballing it. I think I bought too much, but that's okay. And I hope the neighbor weed whacking isn't interfering with my talking. Does that look like 2 cups? No. Keep going. Keep going. And no, like, ugh. Sour. Nope. It's not a bad texture, it's just a very sour fruit. So I'm going to go with that. That looks like it's 2 cups-ish. And I'm going to cut up my strawberries. Strawberries are yummy. I don't need that anymore. So just, you can slice, you can just chop them, whatever you feel like. Put that in there. I love this time of the year because I love fruit. And I can feel like I'm indulging in something and I don't have to feel super guilty about it because it's fruit. I mean, I'll buy a container of raspberries and eat the whole thing. Probably should be measuring those, but because it's so good. And good for you, and no one's gonna get unhealthy or fat from eating too many blueberries or strawberries, I don't think, unless you're allergic. Just cut them. I'm kind of just eyeballing as I go. Kind of have sort of the same amount of strawberry as I do rhubarb. I'm not sure if my husband knows what I'm making, but he's going to be very surprised because he loves strawberry rhubarb. So just, you can measure if you want. I'm just eyeballing as I go. And, you know, it's going to cook down, and it doesn't really matter if the cuts are perfect. Some of it'll still be maybe a little bit crunchy, not crunchy, but still have some texture, and some of it'll be, you know, give off its juices and be cooked way down. I'm going to do a couple more. Then I'm going to toss it with some sugar, and I think that's good. And the cornstarch. All right, so I need, let's see, I think it's a half a cup of sugar. Strawberries are nice and sweet, but the rhubarb is not. Come on. Not at all. One. What did I say? Half a cup. What am I doing? Wake up. 1.5 tablespoons. Now I'm sticky. 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. And that is to thicken up as it makes its juices. It's to thicken it up so it's not just watery. Anytime you do a cobbler or a crisp or even a pie, a lot of times they'll be, it'll ask for either flour or cornstarch to sort of thicken that up. So 1.5. That's, yeah, that's already. Okay. All right, and looking at my recipe because it's hard to remember. Salt, just a little salt, and the cinnamon goes in with the topping. So of course I didn't get a spoon. Let me get a spoon. Toss that around. Get it all nice and coated. And that's going to go in the bottom of the pan here. Just make sure it's all nice and coated. Like that. And I'm going to spray it first. I don't want anything sticking. Okay. I'll toss that in there. That's a good amount. It's actually probably more than, a little bit more than my recipe, but that's okay. This over here, wash my hands. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Okay. Now for the topping. I need 3/4 cup of flour. How am I going to do this? My big thing of flour is in the other room. It's going to be messy. There's 1/4. And there's 2/4. And 3. Okay, now if I were making a crisp, I would be using oats, and you can add oats if you want. I need some brown sugar. I need 1/3 cup. Pat that down. Extra sweetness. Now if this doesn't cover it, you can make a little more. Should be enough. It's looking like it might not be, so you can always add, you know. You can always wing it. Doing stuff enough, you get good at winging. All right. Okay, now I need sugar, regular sugar, 3 tablespoons. 2 and 3, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. You can add more if you want, leave it out if you don't like it. When you're baking a cake or cupcakes or certain things, the measurements are super, you know, it's really important that they're really precise, but in this case, you know, if you don't like cinnamon, leave it out. And if you don't want to put salt, don't put, it's just such a tiny bit of salt. And I forgot to get my butter. Bleh, I'm going to pause, hang on. All right, I got my butter. Forgot to mention you need butter. So you need 6 tablespoons. This is 8. So let's put that aside. And I'm going to cut it up. I always seem to forget something. If you've watched any of my videos, you know she always forgets something. So we're gonna cut this into the flour, which you can do with a pastry cutter, or I'm gonna do it with my hands. So what you do is you're rubbing the butter into, you can do it with a fork too, or a food processor if you're really pressed for time and you don't feel like going through all this. But what it ends up is like little crumbs, and I forgot to shut the water off. This takes a little bit of time, but you're just rubbing, so you're rubbing the butter into the flour. And it's going to take me a few minutes, so I'm going to pause. Maybe. Hello, I'm back. All right. I cut the butter into the brown sugar, flour, cinnamon mixture. And so you can see it's like kind of like sand, wet sand, damp sand. It's crumbly. And if you get, you know, some big pieces of butter, it's not a big deal. It just should be mostly incorporated into the flour and whatnot. So now we're just going to top this. Just use your hands. They're your best tool in the kitchen. And then this is just going to go in a 375 oven for about 45 minutes. It's going to get all bubbly, and because it's going to get bubbly, you're going to want to put this on a cookie sheet, baking sheet in the oven, because it'll bubble over and make a mess in your oven, and we don't want that. Just sprinkle that all over. And there we go. All right, going in the oven. I'll see you in 45 minutes. Maybe not. Hello, I'm back. And our crumble is out of the oven and bubbling away like crazy. It didn't bubble over, but I put it on the cookie sheet anyway just to be safe. And I would love to take a taste of it right now, but I'm gonna probably burn myself. Let's see if I can do this without physical injury. I'm just gonna take a little tiny bit. The strawberries are soft. They still have a little bit of texture. They haven't completely disappeared. It was in there for about 40, almost 45 minutes. Actually, the timer is probably going to go off in a second. I took it out a couple minutes early. Let me grab an actual fork instead of trying to eat with that giant spoon. And if I blow on it enough, maybe I can get away with this ooey gooey. Wow, that is so good. I would serve it with whipped cream or ice cream. If you're going to serve it warm, it would be great with ice cream because it'll get all melty. That's the way I like my ice cream. This is really super good. And again, you can make it with other fruit. You don't have to use strawberry rhubarb. See if I can do it again without getting burnt. Oh, it's so yummy. You get a little bit of that tartness from the rhubarb, but it's not, you know, so tart that it's unpleasant. Anyway, there you go. You can bring it to a picnic or a barbecue or an outing or whatever, and you can make it with oats if you want to make it into a crisp. I don't think it really matters. I don't miss it. It's very good. So yeah, I am coming back in July with a Mexican street corn salad, and that would be also something to be great to take to a barbecue. So come back and see me again and keep watching. I'm going to keep doing them as long as you keep watching. So we will see you again soon. Come see us at the library if you're local, and check out our website for all the great things we're doing. It's summer reading time and lots of things going on. Bring the kiddies down. We'll see you soon. Bye.